Hi, I'm Natasha Lockhart. Who are some of the women that have made a big impression on you? We'll share our ideas.
I'm Afra Daines. We'll look at a new option for health scans and testing.
And I'm Stacy Beck. Do you need your picture taken? We'll talk with a local photographer with a new studio.
All this and more coming right up on Studio Chatter. Welcome to Studio Chatter. How's everyone doing?
It's spring.
It is.
On my way here, people were at the pickleball courts. They were, softball teams were outside practicing, girls throwing balls back and
tis the
forth.
season, right?
Little boys playing soccer. I'm like, oh, I love it.
I'm excited about that.
This is a great time of year. This time of year, everything's kind of fresh and earthy and
bulbs
the
are coming
teas.
up.
The bulbs come up,
Yes.
the snow still comes down.
Oh, why did you have to mention that? But it's okay, it's all right.
I don't think we're going to have any more snow.
Wow. Wasn't it this weekend?
Oh, I'm
I thought
sure
they said,
we're going to.
Yeah.
We usually
One
do.
more. I thought maybe more rain, but I thought we were past snow. Who knows?
Keep it in
Well, it
balance.
looks like y'all coordinated anyway. So
Isn't that funny?
totally not on purpose, but
Right.
everybody's feeling kind of springy. I pulled out the
Yes.
capris, and
Yeah,
you
I
have
was
the
gonna do that.
blooms on you. What else has been going on?
Well, this week I have to share this. So it's funny. On my vision board, I have all these pictures of women on there, smiling, of different race, of different color and everything. And I got invited to this meeting. It was with Dr. Josephine Kule from Kenya. I have to share because it's Women Month. Is it International
Coming off of
Women?
International Women's Month.
Yeah.
But
And so she got an opportunity to go to the UN to go and present, but it was all about
That's awesome.
women and girls in Africa and how they're, being abused by the local men but it was just so beautiful because there was all these different women from Uganda, Kenya, El Salvador, Pakistan, and we all came together with different foods and took pictures. I'll have to show you next time. But
So was this through work?
no, it was through another lady, another parent that I've known, and she goes, I think you'd be interested in this.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I was sitting on the fence. Should I go? Should I
Well,
not?
of course you should go.
Well, I've got to go home, do the kids, and then something said to me, no, you go. You need this.
And was it back up in Salt Lake?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's a hard decision.
But I was in Salt Lake. I worked in Salt Lake that day. So
you were already there.
Yeah.
And just
it was
made
like
arrangements.
5
Good for
minutes
you.
away. Yeah, and it was so good.
Oh, good.
So good. It was like being at home. Home.
Oh, good. I was at a
really
meeting, a city meeting, and they had Nisha DeGenerating come and talk. I totally took a picture with her. Actually, Mayor came over and took a picture of us, but I told her about Studio Chatter. She said she'd totally come and be a guest.
Good job. That's cool.
That
She's
could
like,
be
no
fun.
way, what? I've never heard of this. I'm like, you haven't? That's so weird.
Oh, and I have to say, I was in Walmart in Spanish Fork. It was late at night, and there was one of the workers was standing there, and I was just about to cash out, and he kept staring up. I almost went, "What are you staring at? Don't stare at a black woman," like that. I just kept
You
thinking,
probably would have
it's
scared
late.
him to death.
Well, it's late, and it's Walmart. Hello, okay.
And he's
okay.
a checker.
And he was working there, right? So it was nice and everything. And he
He
goes,
recognized you.
He did. He goes, you're on Studio Chatter.
And you're like, well, yes, I am. Would you like my autograph?
Oh,
that's
the
cool.
cutest thing ever,
I love that.
Because I thought so.
That's funny.
So we're famous,
Well, kind of in these parts.
How's
I
your
know
couple weeks
that
been?
you spent some time in St. George. Also,
Yeah.
that was the conference, right?
Yeah.
It didn't snow on you this time.
No, not this time. The time before that.
Pretty-
Snow flurries.
pretty
Yeah, it's just
miserable.
been kind of cold every time I've been down
Oh,
there
it
this
was
spring.
beautiful. We were there as well for a dance competition.
Yeah, I
Yes,
saw
a
that.
sunshine tournament I think was going on, but lots of baseball. Just talking
Yes.
about spring and lots of dance. And we had some surprise visitors. My aunt and uncle came to see us from South Carolina
Oh,
while they
really?
were out visiting my parents, and so yeah, it was great. It
Oh,
was
good.
weather. Got in a little swim and did some shopping.
Yeah,
and-
I always love shopping down there.
Yeah.
in the spring,
I
get new spring things.
I know it's hard
Yeah.
not to.
Yeah.
I mean, this is season that I want to change wardrobes. I want to change the
freshen up
house, just
everything.
freshen up everything. Yes.
Yeah.
All the time, you know. But hey, I'm still de-junking. It's mine.
Are you ever gonna finish?
Now I've managed to pull everything out. So there it is in my front room. So
See, it's supposed to happen before April because we're coming into tax
Oh,
season,
this
and
is
that's when you
true.
have all of the
Okay.
donations and
yeah.
things that are
Pictures
supposed
so
to
you
be
can write
happening.
it all up.
But you can save all. I mean,
That's
make sure
true.
you're getting your receipts, even if it's for next year.
that's true.
I was hoping that we may get a guest at some point too to maybe talk about the new tax laws and maybe budgeting, and
that would
it's
be
going
really
to
good.
be here before we know it. When we're going to have to start making our lists again for the
next year.
holidays.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's crazy how the time passes. I've definitely noticed that coming into my birthday month, and so
Birthday,
time
Easter, spring
birthday,
break.
Easter, the little
April's
guy's
Mother's.
birthday.
It's starting to pick up.
Oh, and I do remember this from last year that you were saying, I think it was maybe May was your expensive month for graduation and
Yeah,
Mother's
I feel
Day,
like
and there's a
May's
lot of things that go on. So
Yeah, I feel like January, February always for me is a little calmer.
Yeah,
Maybe it's because you're
slower.
home a little earlier, and once you're home at 5 o'clock and it's dark and cold out, you don't leave again.
Well, I just can't believe it. What? My boys are going to be out. It's like 30 days or something, and school's out.
yeah.
30.
Well, what?
60.
40?
Ish. May.
Is it?
And
no,
March,
March,
May-ish,
April, May.
but we're
yeah,
getting there.
Okay. Yeah.
Either or. All right. Wow, we have a good show today.
Yes, we do. I'm excited.
Coming up next on Studio Chatter, there's a new photo studio in town. Stay with us to learn more. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. If you haven't had a picture taken of you in a few years, it's time to update. Welcome Angie Clayson, a local photographer, to the program. Welcome.
Hi, Angie. We're so excited to have you here.
Oh, thanks.
You've been a photographer for a little while, but we were super excited to hear when you built a studio here, remodeled an old building, and now you're in Spanish Fork.
Now I'm in Spanish Fork. Yeah,
And it's not just you, right? Oh, sorry.
yeah,
to
it's not
interrupt.
just me. No, I was just gonna say I've been in Salem, I've been in Springville,
Okay.
I've had studios there. I mean, I've always lived here.
Okay.
But
And that's why you wanted to kind of come home.
yes, I've been waiting for this building for a long time.
Okay. So you went in and remodeled,
Yep, we've remodeled it.
beautified.
Yep, got it all ready. It's
You're
awesome.
ready to go?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I'm so happy to be home.
So where is it? Yeah.
Oh, it's on 100 West in Spanish Fork, 336 North.
Okay.
It used to be a preschool.
Two of my kids actually went to preschool there.
Everybody went to
Yeah, it was Creative
Everyone
Care
come-
Preschool,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was what it was. Everybody
Mrs.
comes
Shirley.
by and is like,
What did you like about it? About
the building,
Yeah.
just the space, location. It's like the perfect size.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So
So tell us about you. What your passion is photography. Where did that come from, and what?
okay. Wow, I'm gonna get super nerdy. I am a nerd when it comes to photography. Okay, I've always loved pictures. Always.
Okay.
Like I was that girl that this is. We didn't have cell phones.
Yeah, I love it too.
I had a camera in junior high and was taking pictures. I loved it. Okay, it just evolved. This wasn't on purpose.
Okay, it's just your passion.
Yeah, it was just what I loved, and people started asking me to come and do this. Anyway, that was
I
19 years
think
ago.
people should do what they're passionate about because then you're naturally good at it,
Yes.
right?
Yes, absolutely.
So did it start with Polaroids and then maybe evolved into a 35 millimeter, or when you were
Yeah.
asking for a camera, what was your dream camera?
Oh yeah. I mean, I wanted an SLR camera. I take the lenses off and all that. So when I started my business, it was film. So this was
Right.
in 2001,
Yeah.
and I finally got the courage to switch to digital in 2004.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's been quite the journey.
So Angie, what's your specialty?
Okay, I specialize mostly in families and
Okay.
high school seniors.
Okay.
That's mostly what I do. I took a break from weddings for 10 years while my kids were, I had 5 kids. But my youngest is in first grade now, so I am doing weddings again. So
Are you
I'm
really?
super excited about that.
wow.
Yeah, so I started
wow.
shooting weddings this last year again.
Okay. Good
So
luck.
yeah, I do everything, but that's
That's what you love.
Yeah. That's what I
So what about your partners? Do they have different specialties? What do they do?
Yes. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about them. So first one is Brandy from Dollface Photo. Okay.
Dollface Photo.
Dollface Photo. Yeah. So she geez, I can't remember how many years, at least 10 years she's been shooting, but she loves birth photography, okay, and boudoir photography.
Okay.
And then there's Ashley from Fackrell Photography, and she loves to do little small family films. And yeah,
So now you said little small family
like
films,
little like so she would come to a photo session and she would do little films, like so video, and then do a little video with music.
So with the picture,
Oh,
she'll
with the
take a
pictures,
and then
yeah.
do music.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be special.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she likes to do that. She does weddings. She's got a lot of weddings under her belt, so she
right.
specializes in weddings too. And then there's Marina. She's our Russian. She's from Russia, and she is our newborn expert. She's like the baby whisperer. Yeah.
Okay.
She does weddings too.
So what's the name of your business?
Reverie Studios.
Okay, so they've come from other studios. Now you're all together.
Yeah, so we all work under our own name. So Angie Clayson Photography, but we all are under
The same
umbrella of Reverie Studios.
Okay, so when people want to reach out, do they call the studio or do they call you individually?
Either way, they can call the
okay.
studio. They can go to our website. It links to whoever. I mean, we all have
okay.
kind of our specialty, and
Okay.
like when people call me for newborns, I'm like,
Yeah.
go to Marina. She's
Okay.
awesome. You know, we work really well together that way.
Oh, that's so good.
So, yeah.
And some of this is some of the programs or
Okay, yeah. So I
offerings as
yes.
such?
I'm gonna
Take us through. Yeah.
Okay, I am like
nice.
crazy about prints.
Yeah.
I know we live in a digital world, and there is a place for digital.
Oh,
Like, you know-
I take pictures
Yeah.
and I haven't got any of this. And this
Yeah,
is,
and
yeah,
this, my
like
whole
that.
philosophy is if I'm not giving my clients prints, I'm robbing their grandchildren, their great grandchildren of
true.
their story. Because think about it. In 10 years, a USB thumb drive
Right,
is
yeah.
going to be obsolete. I have a CD of my daughter from 10 years ago. I don't have a disc thing
Yeah.
anymore. Anyway, a lot of my clients love their albums. So, like for a family session, you want all your pictures, but you don't want to like hang them all up.
Right.
So
Yep.
we do an album. This family, they get an album every single year from me. And she loves it. She'll put them on a shelf or on her
I
coffee
love
table.
just looking at that. It's not my
And-
family. Cute
Yeah.
Giles family.
The Cute Giles family.
Oh, I love that 2-page spread.
Yeah, so these are really fun.
Is that just, oh, that's just the girls.
That's just the girls. We did a session with just the girls that summer. We did the family that fall, but
Oh, how fun.
yeah. Isn't that fun?
Lift your canvas here
Okay.
underneath. This is what I love these for wall groupings.
Yeah, so I brought just a small canvas just to show. Some people don't know what they are. A gallery wrap canvas. So the picture wraps all the way around. And that cute couple that I shot right there. So yeah, that's a
I love
canvas.
that
And
you
this,
can do a whole wall out of these, and they're affordable enough that you can kind of change these out and
Yeah.
update these.
yeah, so we do a lot of galleries. We'll have people come in with their picture of like above their sofa, their fireplace, or down their stairway, and they're like, we need something here. And we can do a whole gallery of these.
Yeah, love
And you
that.
can help them with the
And we
design
do
and
help
everything.
them. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we are a full studio. Like I don't just hand you your digital files and say, "Hey, good luck." You know, you come in. I've got a whole staff that will sit down with you.
Okay.
And you can bring pictures of the area that you need to decorate.
You're going to edit everything.
Everything is
and make it
edited. You
look-
know, if you have a big, awesome zit that day, got it.
You'll take care
Taken
of it.
care of.
Take that away.
Yes. All edited. Help you decorate all that stuff.
That's
Great.
so precious.
Isn't it so precious? I love that the easels just
Yeah. This is one of
built in.
Yeah, we do these little mini canvases up to 11 by 14. And look at that baby.
Oh my
awesome.
gosh.
This is Marina's, one of her newborns. I told you she's a baby
I love
whisperer.
that.
She's really, really good at.
Well, I love that you can put this on a shelf too, in an office or something, and
Yeah.
it just becomes
It just has
part
a-
of the art, and you're not worrying about cleaning the glass. I mean,
Yes.
it's just
Yeah, getting
so
a frame.
with the
It's
times.
simple.
Yes.
But I feel like I always think when you walk into a home, if they have family pictures, it pulls me into the home. I feel like so many people stop in your entry. Your entry needs to be a place where you have some either a family vacation or some family snapshots, because it just makes you feel like you're home, like you're invited, and,
Well, and-
come on in and sit a while.
And your kids like to see themselves.
Oh,
and my kids love that I have pictures of them around my house. Yeah.
Oh,
The
that's
selfie
cute.
generation. I can't believe that to be true.
Yeah.
Well, I'll ask the question because we're going to be running out of time. Getting close here. What about cost? Because I know sometimes with images, it's cost prohibitive sometimes to say, you know, you can have one picture, but it's this much. Like, tell us about your packages or a sitting, or depending on the photographer, I guess.
Yes, it is. So we're all different.
Okay.
I mean, I could go into detail. Everything's different. If it's family session, this or that. But I'll say, like, my families, they usually invest between $500 and $1,000. I mean,
Sure.
And that's
Okay.
going right nowadays.
Yes. But they're getting.
They're getting their
too.
They're getting an album. They're getting digitals. They're getting it all. Like, I want them to have it all.
Okay, I love that.
There's all different options. I mean, I have options for everybody.
Okay, that's
So,
fun.
like for this book, this costs way more than that, as it has more pages.
Yes, it has more
and
pages, and yep.
and it's
That's awesome.
the quality
But
is
all of
amazing as
your
well.
pricing is on the website.
There is some pricing on the website.
Okay.
You can just email us. We
Okay.
can give you more details about what kind of session you're wanting. Because seniors are going to be different than family. Weddings are going to be different.
What's the
But-
biggest question you get? Is like, I took pictures for people like back in the 90s,
Okay.
and it was always, what do I wear?
Yep. What do I
Is
wear?
that still?
That is a huge question. Do you want to know what to wear?
Yes.
I
Like,
have
is
some
it
tips for
solids,
you.
prints, darks?
Well-
never wear white.
Okay. Here's my questions. I'll ask. I'll say, okay, where are you going to hang these pictures? Let's think about that. Okay.
You want to match your couch a little.
You want to be, you don't want to wear neon orange if your house is like maroon. I don't know,
Then, but
whatever.
then who looks good in neon orange? Like, do you have to kind of blend? Like, what do you personally look good in?
Yeah, I'll help them with that.
Okay.
Like skin tone and stuff. They'll send me a picture. But yeah.
Well, probably, I mean, a headshot opposed to like a portrait studio or an outdoor setting or whatever it is that you're trying to capture.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I would think that would depend
So-
on your setting too.
Yeah. So I will always, we have a consultation before because I want to nail
good.
it.
Okay.
Okay. What does the space look like that you're going to put these pictures? Okay. And then, like, what's your style? Is your house style modern? Is it farmhouse? Is it, Victorian? Whatever it is, what is it? That will help me give some suggestions. Okay. And then I talk about what kind of location they're thinking, because they may have seen something on my site that's like, I really want that beach setting or whatever, that gives me an idea of what they're kind of going for. Okay. Coordinating, not matching. Okay, don't show up in like everyone in red polos or anything like that. Okay, just coordinating. See, we kind of coordinated today unintentionally.
Yes, we should have a photo.
Yeah, we should.
I'm not good at just coordinating. I think that's that's probably why a lot of people don't do family pictures. You have to go buy everyone new clothes.
Yeah.
You feel like it. You need to be fresh and new. And then to
feel that way.
coordinate is stressful. You lay everything out on the bed, and then the kids are ornery, and the husband's more ornery than the kids, and it's a stressful day. You get them kind of on the...
Yeah, it is stressful for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But let me tell you a secret.
Okay.
Okay, this might be really selfish, but this is what I tell my moms. If you don't like the picture, you're not going to buy it, right? Like, you need to be happy about it. So this is what you do. You go find a new outfit for you that you feel like a rock star. Like,
I
feel
love
like
it.
a rock star.
Okay.
Then bring it home. You raid your kids' closets, and we're coordinating around Mama's outfit.
Angie, that's really
It is
brilliant.
true. It is true.
That's my advice.
Fantastic
I love
advice.
it.
Well, on that note, we have to wrap. But Mother's Day is coming up, Easter, graduation, and one more time, best place to get a hold of you.
Best place to get a hold of me. You want phone numbers? What do you want?
Yep.
Okay, we have a website, reverieutah.com.
Okay.
We're in Spanish Fork, and yeah.
Fantastic.
Good
Well,
luck.
do come back and see us again.
Yes, thanks,
thank you.
Angie. That was fun.
All right, thanks.
What woman has influenced you the most? We'll talk about that next. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Besides your mother, what women have really made an impact in your life? Let's talk.
Besides her mother.
Yeah. Everybody loves their own mom, and their mom
Absolutely,
does
yeah.
their. I mean, everybody's
right.
mom is amazing.
Everyone's mom.
So we'll just start with. We'll start with
Oh
you.
my goodness! So really, how much time do I have?
Oh gosh. Okay. Yes. You have 8 minutes. Go.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you know what? Outside of my mom and my sisters, because I'm very close to my sisters, I have to admit that there are women that I've loved. Maya Angelou's I love women who have gone through, even some of the women that we've had on the show who've gone through some real crap Can you say the word crap? Horrible moments
Yes,
in their
right.
lives.
Yeah, it's
but they've
real.
managed to pick themselves up and continue on. Because when I look at them, I see fiery, courageous, they're brave, you know. And I see someone, I feel sometimes I can't complain because of what I know about them.
Right.
And how they've overcome what they've overcome. And I have a friend, and we would talk, and I'd ask her questions, and then she would say, oh, he did this to me, he took a knife to me, he cut me up, you know, and all of this.
Jeez.
And this is just having a normal conversation. And I said, really? And she would be like, yeah, look at this scar, look at this, you know. And so
Oh my gosh.
how can you then go, well, not that I own my, you know, I have bad days.
Right.
But then when you look at someone else of what they really went through, you're like, okay,
Not going to complain.
I'm not going to complain. And so Maya Angelou is one of those, you know, the women that I've loved reading about.
I have never studied up on her. She's
Well-
written books.
Yes, she has written books. She spent time in Ghana. That was another thing that I had this
Have you met
affinity
her?
for her.
Or you
No,
just know
but
she's
that was
okay?
my dream. We were in Ghana when she came, and I didn't have a ticket.
Where does she live now?
She's gone.
Oh, she's
I didn't get to
I just
see
really
her.
don't know.
Yeah,
In the past couple of years.
couple of years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So interesting that you mentioned her, because I love Oprah Winfrey.
I do
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
And Maya Angelou was one of her favorites, of course, that she
Absolutely.
was always referencing her.
Yeah.
Really more interesting, I think, as we're just coming off of International Women's Month, and I took a step back for a moment to reflect on the women that have influenced my life, and I think it's been from a very early age. It could have been Mrs. Wilson in 4th grade, you know, pushing you to do the spelling list, or it can be an Oprah that you aspire to push boundaries and be on television. And I always wanted to anchor a program. I don't know if it was in California or New York or somewhere like that ultimately, but I was traveling recently, and I passed through a bookstore in the airport they had a whole display about women and some of these really cool things. So I specifically bookmarked that page for you just now.
Look at that.
But there's a lot of women in here in history or
pretty.
current history that have done things that I think were just super awesome.
I totally want this book.
It's an amazing book. So I have
Her
to.
story.
So I'm spoiling the surprise, but I actually bought this for our outgoing Miss Spanish Fork. Morgan Wilson, because she is doing things, you know, I'm lucky enough to work with an age group where they are women that are changing and doing things in this world and influencing our young children. And side by side of this book was this one that was more appropriate for my 8-year-old, and I love that it's A is for awesome. I'm taking all the time here, but I did want to show you the end of the book here, because I think it's really amazing, especially now with self-image issues and social media influencing everything, whether that's for good, whether that's for bad. It's a selfie here at the end of the mirror to say.
That is the
So it goes through the
cutest.
whole alphabet of historical women, and then X, Y, and Z, because why? Because you're amazing, and like to not let them forget that here in the mirror. So it's a self-reflection. I thought that was super appropriate.
That's a great Easter gift.
Isn't that?
Yep, I'm
I
gonna
just
get
thought it
that
was
for my
cool. I'm like,
granddaughter.
we just need this in our library because
Yeah,
of women, you know, women's issues with all of those things, whether it's self-image, whether it's, you know, are you in the workplace? Are you stay at home? What did you do? Mother Teresa, there's Florence Nightingale, like
know,
pushing
Marie
boundaries
Curie.
in medicine and being, you know, a nurse and, all kinds of different women and
Right.
aspects,
But they've all risen, you know, and I just feel like there's so much to a woman, and yet with the way society treats women, we find ourselves not rising up to the occasion. Because I think we underestimate the power that we have. You know, how great we are. But these women did. They didn't care. Marie Curie, she didn't care what anyone said. And she was in, I was just reading up about her actually, that before she discovered, is it penicillin or no?
Was it
Was it
penicillin?
penicillin?
I'm not sure if it was, but yeah.
She was in a man's world, and she was not going to be accepted. But she was like, and then she fell in love with her husband. No, he fell in love with her, but she was like, "You're not going to stop me doing what I want to do." But they managed to make it work. But she was that focus.
Well, even Ruth Bader Ginsburg, like her husband, you have to have that support system that he, is still, I
allowed
think,
her
to do it and take care
even
of
though
her.
she has a family. And I think sometimes we almost lose sight of that. I know we're mothers and we're nurturers, but I think there's that side of us. All of us have a side that we want to be the creator and live our dream.
I almost want, like, when we decided to talk about this topic, I didn't think of any of these women that are big. I thought of women in my life that I'm friends with or look up to and respect, and all of them, it's because they're living their truth. Whether it's Natasha, doing all these big things and having your kids later, or a mom that's in her 20s but she wants to be that stay-at-home mom. And if that's what you want to do right now, then do it. If that's your truth, do what brings you joy. And that's where I love looking at women and respecting them more, because they're living their truth.
Absolutely,
Well, I love that's the world we live in now, and even young girls, that they're promoting STEM. And yes, you can be in science, you can be in math, you can do all of these things, and you can still have a family, and you can change the world with social media, whether you're Rachel Hollis, whether you're Marie Kondo. I love that you brought that one, so she's going to help you get organized. But really, all of those things that are at our fingertips to promote it, whether it's the neighbor lady that's doing something in your local ward, or if it's Stacy being a councilwoman, or if it is like whatever it is,
story,
it really is.
Just step up and do it.
Yeah.
Choose to do it.
Not be dictated by other voices. I think that's the biggest thing.
Live your own journey.
Live your own journey, and it's okay. Someone might say you should be doing this or you should be doing that. No one,
Because I'm sure a lot of these women were told,
absolutely,
you're not going to make that.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
and the biggest thing was with Maya Angelou. This is where education comes in, right? We got to go to this school, and I'm guilty of that. But so she spent like 2 years when she was 12. I think she was 10, between 10 and 12. She fell silent. I think she lost her brother or something like that. Anyway, did not speak, and just read all of these books, from Shakespeare to every book she could get her hand on. And then something changed in her life and she started speaking. But by then, she became so eloquent in her writing. And
wow.
Amazing. Can you imagine? I can't even stop talking for a day.
No. Really, that would be tough for all of us, I think. Well, on that note, coming up next on Studio Chatter, we'll look at some early prevention alternatives for mammograms. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Our bodies can be complicated, but there are some early prevention scanning methods now available. Let's welcome Cindy Black and Reva Blaney from the Life Clinic. Welcome, ladies.
It's going to be full of new information for us.
Absolutely. This is really exciting. I love anything to do with alternative medicine. Alternative medicine, I suppose, wouldn't that?
She really does. So
Yes.
how did this relationship come to be?
Well, we're both nurses, so we love the nursing aspect of health. However, as nurses, we do communicate with our patients, trying to find out, what's working, what's not working. And there was a long time ago when I was a very sick person, and traditional medicine wasn't helping. And so I did look into alternative reluctantly, because I thought people that did alternative were just stupid, and I would tell them that. So I really had to be very humble to be open to doing something different. But thermometry is where we are. It's a new way that we are using to help people see where their hot spots are, their areas of greatest concern. Thermometry, just like it sounds, it's it sounds like temperature, like a thermometer.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And so using temperature, it makes it less invasive than mammograms.
Now, is this specific to everyone or just Women's Health or everyone? Women's Health?
Everyone.
Okay.
Everyone, because just women don't have problems. It's
Okay.
a lot of people that have problems, and sometimes we don't know that their problems are starting. So early intervention is best, right?
Right.
So when we take the readings for the teeth as well as the head and the trunk, we are looking for areas of the body that are not regulating well. So regulative thermometry is what it's called, because we are seeing how the body responds to stress. So we take a reading, a temperature reading in 55 different areas, and then we stress the body with cold for 10 minutes. It's
Literally
not that,
cold?
Yeah.
No, it's not really that cold.
It's between 67 and 72. It feels
that's
cool.
doable.
Yeah, I
It's
can
not
deal with
cold,
that.
but it's a stressor because we're 98.6. You know, so that is a stress. The body has to respond somehow. Okay, how am I going to take care of myself? I'm cold in here.
Right.
So, one thing we know about cancer is cancer can't regulate its temperature. It's always hot. So when you cool the body, if some part of the body stays really hot, that's really suspicious.
So you're fresh off of the experience.
Yes, I am. Had it this morning.
Okay, so how did it? What did you do?
What's
how
the
does it go?
machine like? Yeah,
right.
what is the actual machine like? I mean,
You know, it
is it
wasn't.
like a fridge or something, or a sauna? I mean, you know.
That'd be great. But no, it basically it's just a room. They regulated the room. I sat in the room for a few minutes just to relax, kind of, decompress any stress, anything like that. Let my body acclimatize to the temperature. And then.
Which is, well, the heat part is what? What like a sauna is like.
Well, no, this was like
150
70 degrees,
Okay.
71, something like that.
okay.
So not
okay.
uncomfortable. It was more just to, relax and kind of acclimatize to what was in the room. And then Cindy came in and she took the first reading. And then I basically stood there. She could do just from the waist up. So I was able to keep my pants on, and then I just stood there in a room privately for 10 minutes and allowed my body to regulate. And then she did another scan, the exact same thing. And then it's basically the difference between those two. And,
To see.
to see the
So you were
hot
asking,
spots.
like, what is that scan like? Are you laying down? Are you standing up? Is it a machine like a circle? Or what is it?
Is it like a laser thing, when you go through the airport and they scan you down? I mean, is it like one of those? I mean, I'm trying to visualize.
It's a very, very sensitive probe thermometer. It has an
Okay.
infrared tip.
Okay.
And so it takes temperature, just minute changes. And so we have, there's quite a bit of research behind it, 30 years of research. And they there's a whole panel of doctors that developed this. And they attach an algorithm to the changes that should happen and don't, or that do happen and shouldn't. Like our thyroid should heat up when our body is cooling down, because the body's
Right.
going, hey, we need more heat.
Right.
And so the thyroid should heat up, and parts of the brain should heat up. But mostly we're looking for the body to cool. So there are algorithms that are attached to that make it really precise. It's 93% effective as far as being able to see trouble spots. Now, not all trouble spots are cancer, of course. I mean, sometimes, like on the teeth and stuff, it's that there's a block of some kind. The body's not able to regulate because maybe there's a cavity there, or a root canal, or perhaps there's maybe we have a benign cyst somewhere that would block the body's ability to adequately respond to the stress.
So Cindy, once you were going to ask
No,
something too.
go ahead.
So I was just going to say, so you get this back, then do you take care of the possible problems once you do this scanning?
Well, there's lots of options, and the doctor that reads this to them, and there's an interview with the doctor after they've had this done, he will tell them some options. And certainly one of them could be, I want to go get a mammogram. However, a mammogram is only, and this is documented, 70% accurate. So if I want to choose between, early detection of something that's 70% accurate or something that's 93% accurate, I'm going to go with the 93%. Plus, ionic radiation, which is what we use for that scan, is the most mutating substance known to man. So why would I want a few more of those on my body?
Doesn't it hurt as well, mammograms?
Yeah.
Just asking.
Literally being squeezed.
Squished, yeah.
And if you're well endowed, you're going
Really
to have a trouble.
squished.
Or if you're not, then they're pulling on you. So
Whereas this method does not
hurt at all.
squeeze, touch, anything.
Well, she does touch my skin.
It's like,
but it
yeah.
doesn't hurt at all.
Oh.
So it's just that wand and just touching like that. Okay.
Yeah, just touching.
I'm
your fingers.
intrigued because is this fairly new technology? Because as an alternative, we're told from time and time again, like have your mammogram when you're in this age group, do this.
Yeah.
How would you educate? We'll just say women for now about this type of alternative.
it's done usually word of mouth. Certainly there's a lot of political influence as well as monetary influence to do things the way we've always done things.
Right.
And people are fearful, so they're not open sometimes to doing things a new way. Looking at the percentage, because I'm now teachable, I want to go with thermometry. Right. There is another one called thermography, and that is where they just take one picture, and the thermography was invented for buildings and bridges and stuff. So it's looking for hot spots. So it has some very good information also. This is more accurate because there's actual algorithms that go with tiny little changes.
Yeah. Show them one of these things here.
Okay, so this is a whole body scan, and you can see the teeth are represented here. And this is when the body was warm, and this is when the body was cooled off. Okay, so we're looking for different colors mean different things, and we probably don't have time to go into that today. But this is the breasts, and so you can see here's the body warm, and it looks just normal. But as we cooled it off, see this little red hot spot?
That would scare you.
And knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to go, oh no, but it certainly is something that is good information. Maybe I will, do a little more breast self-exam in that area and see if there is maybe a lump, or perhaps I might feel, if there's a temperature feeling, I can feel the difference.
Right.
I think that it's just information.
Right.
And
But then, like you said, the doctor that's going to read this to you can also guide you to the next step.
that's right. Well, he'll guide you to your options. And since what I have done for 23 years is homeopathy and bioscan, we love to see what the body can do. I've had breast cancer myself, and I no longer have breast cancer, and I never had surgery. But it's not there anymore.
Right.
So I'm really happy with it.
And you've made this your full-time passion, and this is what you do now.
This is what I do. And I'm a mother of 7 children, but it's always a good day at Life Clinic. So if it's a bad day at home, it's always a good day.
Yeah,
Life
well,
Clinic.
on that note then, tell us where we can locate Life Clinic and how to reach out and get some scans or more information.
Great. Well, I would love to have people take advantage of this because it's not expensive. We're found just a little bit north of Center Street in Provo on 63 North, 300 East.
Okay.
And we have several modalities of treatment there, about 15 modalities
really?
of treatment.
Wow.
And Dr. Vance is our supervising physician. We have a website, which is UtahLifeClinic.com.
Okay.
Telephone number?
Oh, telephone number. Oh, yes, 801-342-9292.
Okay, that's
Well, we
wonderful.
always appreciate being educated and learning a little bit more, so thank you for your time today.
Thanks. This is great.
Thank you.
Awesome. Coming up next, have you been reading our book club assignment? It's time for our report. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. It's time for your book reports, ladies.
I'm
Are you ready?
Yes.
Oh, look at you two with your
Dead
little
too late.
notes
Hey,
and
this
your
is our
hard
library.
copies.
I need to show you how I write.
Oh wow! Look
If
at
I
you.
have a self-help book, I get my red pen.
and you go through it.
Oh, I mark it all up.
So good.
So
I like that one. You should share that.
That's
Courage
a
is
really
contagious.
that's a really good idea. Well, I listen to the books that we choose
Same
on
here.
Audible because
Same here.
I'm trying to save time, but I always have that thought, and I will say this: did either of you listen to it? You listened to it.
I
So
listened to it,
She
yeah.
actually pauses and says or repeats it.
She
For
does.
those of you listening to this book rather than reading it, she's kind enough to stop and let you, if you wanted to make
digest
notes or
it
do
or-
something. Yeah, I thought that was really
I've
great.
paused audibles before, just like, okay, I just need to let this
Just
sink
take it in, right?
Like, this is good stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I do wish, and I probably will purchase this one in hard copy to
Oh,
go
yeah.
back and reference.
Okay, let's jump in.
Yes,
I'll go.
jump in.
And
Go.
I love
Okay.
this part. It said, courage and fear are not mutually exclusive. Courage and fear are not mutually exclusive. Most of us feel brave and afraid at the exact same time. And right then I went back into my childhood. I remember my dad saying, "You're going to water ski." I was 7 or 8 years old, so I was little, out in the lake, and just water skiing. I was scared to death. For the next couple of years, every time my dad would say, "Who wants to ski?" I'd always be like, "Oh, I do," but I was so scared, but so brave. And then even when I chose to run for city council, one of the scariest things I ever
Sure.
did. Scary, but I was brave.
That's right.
So
that's right.
they do go together. You think that they're separate? Like I've always had them separate in my head, but I like that.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, her whole book, if you haven't watched her on YouTube, you definitely needed to go
Okay,
do that.
TED Talk,
I mean,
right?
TED Talk,
Okay.
yeah. Was one of the million of viewers. But anyway, this is all about, not just about shame and vulnerability, but I really loved, like you're saying, for fear and courage being in the same place. I also loved, she talks about setting your boundaries, which I have this tendency to not have boundaries. I just let other people's crap be my crap, or just and setting boundaries. How important that is really important to me, because if you don't, then it's almost like you don't know what you really want in your life.
Right. Someone else is going to lead it for you if you
That's
don't
right.
choose to.
Absolutely. Exactly. And that really hit home to me because you allow that.
Well, I thought it was really interesting because when we very first started talking about this book, I was skeptical. I'm like, I don't know, and I started listening to it a little bit. I'm like, what's really going to be my takeaway from this? I'm not looking to lead a group per se. I'm actually looking to kind of get away from that and take a step back. But I love that when you get into the deep dive of the book, that she really talks about that a person's a person,
Yes.
and
People.
yeah, and being vulnerable and connecting and having empathy and all the human emotion that comes into it. And it's not necessarily about leading an organization, but you can rumble. In the workplace, you can rumble in relationships. I think that was probably my biggest takeaway was partly with boundaries, but also the vulnerability and people. And they're just people.
That's
and you
right.
can, if you have the ability to empathize or dig for that emotion, it just makes sense.
And I loved what they said as well about companies, whoever you work for. And she said how important it was to gain others' trust. For you, if you want a company to work, is to have that trust. I've been in companies where they didn't care about that. So you couldn't trust your boss because they could, put you under the bus. So why am I going to trust them?
Right.
And yet they expected that from us, the employees. And then nobody else was, that connection wasn't there. And I thought, and she gave percentages, how important it was to gain for everyone to be trustworthy, everyone trusts each other.
Well, and even if you're not leading like in a company, I think this is so applicable in women's lives in general because a lot of women become mothers, and you're leading a family.
Right,
The
absolutely.
woman leads the family,
Yes.
and you're leading your kids. And
Absolutely.
and-
Imagine if there's no trust with your kids.
Oh yeah,
If your
or
kids don't trust
empathy,
you,
or courage. You need to
courage.
teach courage and lead by courage. There's just so many basic concepts that she really brings to the forefront of, like, this can be a game changer. Be vulnerable. I think it's important to be vulnerable with your kids. Let them know when you mess up,
Right.
or
And it's
you know,
okay.
yeah,
And
that they
accept
can
that.
Well,
own
and
that.
they recognize it also. I think one really good example of that in the book is when she was trying to make the flight to get home for the final
Yeah, that's
game.
really good.
And she was so beating herself up about that. And her daughter responded by saying, Mom, like, you've been to every practice, you've been to every game, you've been to everything leading up to this. It's okay. And they do recognize that.
I think so.
And then the last bit, I know you guys just think about it really quickly about values. She says it's really important to live your values. Mine, I believe, is knowledge. I really believe in just learning a lot, and then from knowledge you can gain your wisdom. I just feel like when you know more, then the way I act, you know, because if I know more for me, I feel like then I present myself better. Because, you know, she was saying that her husband went, they were in the fridge or something, and he goes, "Where's the luncheon meat?" And she's like, "He didn't say that."
Yeah.
You know, she got, and I, you
Typical
know,
reaction,
right,
yes.
exactly. But she was saying, you know, everyone comes. Why do we feel like they're attacking us when their stuff? They have stuff.
Sure.
And
But we do take it like that.
That's right.
I do.
Personally,
Me
yeah,
as in me.
right.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, he was saying, you know, you never do the shopping. Who does the cooking? But at the end of the day, what was it about? He was hungry. It was just simply he was hungry. It wasn't because she was a bad wife or this. She was hungry. So
It's
it was-
funny how we internalize those things, though, and take that upon ourselves. So I thought that was really, that's really good to in turn say with that. And I'm borrowing this from another book that we've read. If you're surrounding yourself with, I mean, if the 5 people that you're with are the ones that are influencing your life, then maybe you need to change things up. And I do believe you should constantly be learning and bettering yourself.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that's a
great
good
book.
one. Good
so
one.
it's
I
really good.
changed
Great
my
choice.
opinion. Yeah,
Thank
great
you.
job.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to read more of her. I had never
Yes,
read
Brené
Brené Brown,
Yeah.
so I'm going to be buying more books.
Yeah, she's
Awesome.
really good.
All right. Well, let's introduce our next book. Yeah.
Yes.
I can't
Okay. So, The Radium Girls by Kate Moore.
Yes.
Okay, I've heard fabulous things about it.
Okay.
Great.
It's another dark.
Oh, is it?
Well,
Is it
I
dark?
shouldn't say dark. It's another piece of our history that we know nothing about. Like that other book we read about the
the underground adoption.
yeah, the
So I
adoption.
can't
Can't
think
remember
of
the
the name
name.
of it either.
But those,
But it was a good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
before we were,
Oh,
yes,
you-
before we were
yours.
yours.
Yes.
That's it.
yeah. So this is another one about radium and girls, you know, putting that in their mouth and they couldn't track it down. And I hear it's just really a fabulous book. So
right.
good choice, Natasha.
Yes.
Right.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Yes, the radium.
There's more
Radium
studio
girls.
chatter coming up. Welcome back. We made it. What did we eat? I mean, what did we learn?
What are we going to eat?
Yeah, here's my
Yes,
here's
I love
okay.
that.
So we're coming up on Easter, so all of the bad food is in the
love
store.
creamy eggs.
But
Look at
look,
those
Cadbury eggs are a
colours.
fave, right? But these are shimmer.
Oh,
These are
look at
shimmer.
that
Do they
shimmer.
taste different?
Like shimmery? Oh. Oh, wow.
It also wouldn't be pseudo
You
cheddar.
can't complain with Cadbury's.
But if we didn't have a flavored Oreo,
But one.
so red velvet, an Easter egg.
Okay.
Well,
All
that's
right,
I'll take
start
one for
reading
the
your
team.
books.
Yeah.
We'll see you
bring it
next
back.
time.
This would be super fun in Easter baskets, though.
They would.
Super cute.
And with those books that you shared about women.
Oh yes,
Strong girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
great.
Oh my
books.
gosh, look at the size. That's
Oh,
not
they're
even
different.
round.
They're
oval.
Easter egg shape. That's adorable. Now we need some Diet Coke or some milk.
True.
Want to go grab us some? Okay. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Okay, that's a wrap. We'll see you next time.
hi.
Oh, hi. But wait, what's the flavor?
Yummy.
Cream.